Hey everyone, it's your favorite Suburban Black Girl here. Thank you so much for your birthday wishes. I'm still working my way through all of them, but if I missed your story where you tagged me, apologies. Um, I don't know if you had seen my stories where I just flew out for my aunt's funeral. Um, and I just wanted to talk about that a little bit, but also to thank everyone. If I haven't texted you back, I will be texting you. But something that I've learned just getting older, and being in this business, I've been working professionally as an actor since I was 22. And when you get to certain levels and acting is your primary job, it can be hard to attend funerals and weddings because sometimes you can't get the time off. I remember when I was doing Radio City, um, I was, how they have the Rockettes and then they have like a play within the show. And I was playing the mom of the daughter who all she wanted to do was play video games. And we learned the true meaning of Christmas. It's an incredible experience. But that year I had four people very close to me die. My aunt, my brother-in-law's mom, the mom of someone I was really close to growing up, as well as my high school voice teacher. And three of us shared the role. And on the day of the funerals, I couldn't get anyone to sub for me. So I missed those funerals. And I remembered feeling like I'm never going to let this happen again. Like it was the worst feeling, you know? Um, And yes, I love what I do, but also there are times when you just need to prioritize. So when my aunt passed away, uh, you know, especially once the funeral was scheduled for my birthday, I know my mom just felt horrible, you know, and not to mention the grief, like this, my mom and her sisters taught me what it is to be an aunt because they always showed up, always. And my Aunt Boot came to all of my big New York shows, like the first one at the Depot Theater, which is a tiny theater in Westport, New York, like all the way upstate. But it's also a working train station. So if you are on stage and the train comes in, the lights just go down and you hold your position until the people get off the train. And it's actually quite charming. But my aunt came up to see me in Carousel to play Carrie. And then when I did Little Mermaid, when I did Radio City, like if there was a show in New York, she was going to come, you know, and it, she wasn't necessarily someone to me that was always praising me, but she showed up and she always would, like, you could see the pride in her face. Um, so I was like, well, I have to show up for her. Absolutely. And, sometimes the universe comes through with miracles because I was like, I do not have money to fly anywhere right now. But I kind of purposed in my heart that I was going to go, and I got a message saying that I had points that were going to expire for American Airlines. So cashed in those points, and I was able to fly out. So I going back to prioritizing like family events when you are in the entertainment industry. Um, I was like, okay, I have to try to make this work, but we start Suburban Black Girl rehearsals. So, Suburban Black Girl is the show that I've been working on since 2021. It's a solo show. I wrote it, um, and it came about in the wake of all of the protests after George Floyd was murdered. Um, and I was like, this is my baby. Like, I have to be there for the first day of rehearsal. So I was like, okay, universe, like, help the times line up so that I can take like an early morning flight on Sunday, get to New York by early evening, drive up, to Peekskill, where the service was being held, got a hotel room there. My cousin crashed with me, and we went to the service the next day, and I left from the repast and went right back to the airport and got on a plane. Um, so it's been a crazy 48 to 72 hours, uh, hence why I look so cracked out. Um, but I was really grateful to be able to go hug my cousins and, just be with family. There It's funny being around people that have known you your entire life because Alyssa is one of my younger cousins, so she's in her 20s, but me and my cousins, we're grown. We're grown. And I was in the car with my cousin Vesper and Alyssa, and when I drive in California, I'm pretty laid back, but in New York, I I become a New Yorker real quick. Like that comes back real quick. And it was funny because I was popping off because people kept like cutting into the funeral procession line. And there goes my ring light. I'm too tired to find the other one. Um, so I was getting mad and I was cussing up a storm. And my cousin Vesper, she was just singing a song and making me laugh. And she was not phased at all. And I remembered, like, oh, this is not new to you at all. I have always been myself around you. And in true Aries fashion, I was just annoyed and blah, 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 blah. And she was just sitting in the passenger seat, singing a song, not being bothered by anything I was saying. And I just had to laugh. I just had to laugh. I mean, there's something about being around the people who have known you since you were born, you know? And it's weird how the older you get, you realize that, oh, we're the adults now and our parents are now the elders. And there's that shift that takes place, you know. It was just really good to be around my family. I got to see my nieces real quick. But oh, so my cousin Alyssa was like, we are going to go out for your birthday. We are gonna have fun tonight. But we were in Peekskill on a Sunday night. And I think we checked into the hotel at like 6:45, 7, and like nothing was open. All the restaurants were closing in like an hour except for this one place. And when we got out of the cab, we were like, this is the bottom level of a house. This is a restaurant in the bottom level of a house. Okay. And we walked in and it was like, when you're in a restaurant that does not take kindly to Black people. You feel it. You feel it when you walk in. But we were starving and there was nothing else open. So we went in and we sat down and we ordered our food, and a couple got up and left as soon as we sat down. And we had the whole dining room to ourselves, and we were safe. But it also just reminded me why I am doing triple duty for the next 3 weeks, because my show, Suburban Black Girl, is my way of fighting back. It's my way of taking action during a time where there's so much fear, understandable fear, um, about what's going on in the country. And that experience, I was like, yep, that's a typical suburban Black girl experience. Um, I remember there was a social club in my hometown that apparently has changed its policies, but it was very widely known that Black people were not allowed there when I was growing up. Now I'm glad to hear that it's changed. I'm probably still never going to go there. No, I know from whence it came. So I'm good on that. I'm good on it. That experience helped me not to complain when I got home from the airport. Also, shout out to Siobhan for picking me up from the airport very late last night. Um, got home a little after midnight last night, and I had to wake up at 6:30, but my mind was spinning because I had been traveling. And when my alarm went off this morning, it was like, okay, that was not like any birthday I've ever had. It was very surreal. It was very weird because it was like you go from crying one minute and then people were whispering like, "Oh, hey, happy birthday," and "Oh, hey, I heard you about your show." And it's that balance of like holding space for grief, but also joy at the same time. And then my family surprised me with cupcakes, and we left the repast for a second, and they sang to me, and of course I cried, and they gave me some gifts, and my friends just showered love on me, uh, and I want to say thank you. Um, but also, I want to talk about how important the sacrifices that we're all going to make are in the coming years, because we're not going to make any kind of progress without some form of sacrifice. So right now, yeah, I'm going to be sacrificing my sleep. It's going to take me a little while longer to get back to all of you. So please have patience with me because I'm in rehearsal. Um, but LA theater is its own machine, right? And I am so grateful to be working at Outside In Theater to put up my play. It's a beautiful, intimate space. I am also still teaching at USC. So, and I'm also the playwright. But again, it's important. It's important. So, some forms of sacrifice are not just boycotting, it's working 2 and 3 jobs to get your piece off the ground because it's that important. And I really hope y'all will come out and see the show if you're in the LA area. We open April 19th and we run through May 13th. And I believe it is Saturday through Tuesday. Have to double check, but the link is in my bio. I hope y'all will come out. It's gonna be great. I'll post a video tomorrow from the space, but I'm really excited, and I just wanted to. I'm always thinking about what I can share with young artists that I wish I would have known. And art is incredibly important, but it does not take the place of important family events like weddings and funerals. And we have to remember that sometimes art is business. Sometimes art is business. But don't let that keep you from living your life. In hindsight, I should have just called out sick. I should have just called out sick and gone to those funerals, just to support, because yesterday was, even though I had to leave early, it was just so great to hug my people, you know, and to honor my aunt and to share some laughs with my family, um, and to share my birthday with my mommy and daddy. So yes, it wasn't like my usual birthday parties, my birthday extravaganzas, and yes, it was tough when I woke up yesterday. Um, but I'm able to see how purposeful and beautiful that trip was, and I'm very grateful that God allowed me to go out for a quick 24, maybe it was 36 hours, um, but to be with my family. So I hope this makes sense. I actually have some rewrites I need to do. Um, but yeah, we're making a play, y'all. Suburban Black Girl at Outside In Theater. The link is in my bio, and I hope to see you there. Oh, and if you're my students, there's a great student rate at the theater. So check the website and you can get a student rate. And if you are my students, it's there's not assigned seating, so feel free to sit in the back of the theater because this show has some adult themes in it. So use your, use your discretion. Okay. All right. I'm gonna watch this and see if it made any sense before I get back to writing, and then I gotta do some grading for my students, but this is what we do. Being an artist is not glamour. It's glamour sometimes, but a lot of it is really not glamorous. But what I will say is it may not have been glamorous to roll out of bed this morning, like, pry my eyes open, but it was beautiful and empowering to be in this space with my team and to do the walkthrough and to just be in a small theater ready to speak the words that I wrote with an incredible director, Jacole Kitchen, and Lori, my producer. Oh, and Jessica and Maisha at Outside In and Ariel, our stage manager. Like, the whole team is incredible. You'll meet all of them. I'm gonna do some video features and, yeah, I hope to see you there. Okay, I need to drink some tea so I can turn out these edits. Um, but yeah, find find ways to soothe your soul. And if that means picking up an instrument you put down or writing a play or writing a song or I don't know, you're artists. Use your gifts because right now there's just so much going on and there's a lot of anxiety and tension. Uh, so allow yourself to be soothed by the gifts that you use to soothe others. Okay. I'm going to stop talking because I'm so tired. And I hear myself and I'm like, I don't even know if this is making sense, but okay. More tomorrow.